What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, we have another topic of discussion. Some of you have been requesting. Shout out to Share. We're gonna dive into the Church of Scientology. Now, this is going to be the first of many videos that I'm going to be covering, but I think this was a good place to start off dealing with the disappearance or the I don't know if she's in hiding of Shelly Miscavige or if she's been deliberately, kept from the public. But I do have an article and a video clip of her niece, Jenna Miscavige, who speaks on, her aunt's disappearance and just the growing concerns with Shelly Miscavige not being seen in public. So we're gonna dive into that. But before we do, I need you guys to make sure you hit the like button and share the videos, share the content. We are growing in the Lady Luck Club. So please subscribe. We're going to hit 30,000 supporters by the end of September. By September 30th, we will be at 30,000 subscribers. I'm speaking that. Bless God for it. We are growing. And I just want to thank all of you for making that possible and helping to make that happen. And also consider becoming a member of the Lady Luck Club. I do have to do a new a members only live stream at some point today. So we will have a good time. We're learning a new language. And many of us are coming together to help tackle Spanish. So consider becoming a member so that you guys can grow and learn and become multilingual like I'm trying to be. And it'll be a good way to educate ourselves and to expand our horizons on other cultures and traditions and customs and languages. Some of the smartest people in the world speak multiple languages. So I want you guys to take that journey with me. I'm doing something positive, something that can give us all a little brain break and have some fun while we're doing it. And at the end of the video, I will go over the partnership that we have with Dr. Squatch and how you can purchase some of the products that goes back to the channel. Let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over this article that was posted by OK Magazine. I think I just did a quick Google search, but you guys can always, it's okmagazine.com. You guys can always check out other sources and information. But having saw the Tommy G video that he did on his experience with traveling to Clearwater in Florida, and they called the police on him and everything. But he shared his experience with the Church of Scientology and, of course, interviewed about 3 or 4 people, one of them being Jenna Miscavige, the niece of David Miscavige. And so my second channel is dedicated to being a Tommy G clipper. So what I'm able to do is clip some of those videos and turn them into YouTube shorts. So that is what really piqued my interest in it. And then come to find out, a few LLC supporters are also interested in Scientology. So you guys make sure you share the videos so that others can tune in and see. I would love to have the opportunity to interview with Jenna Miscavige just to get her experiences and try and see what's in place to help find or locate her aunt. But it says here, famous Scientologist niece speaks about her aunt Shelly Miscavige being isolated from the world. So Jenna Miscavige, the niece of Church of Scientology leader David Miscavige, spoke out in a new TikTok video about a woman who has been missing from the public eye, Shelly Miscavige. And this article was published on August 18th, 2025. So it's not an old article. This is about a month old. Um, so relatively recent. Being the wife of a religious figurehead, Shelley made many public appearances by his side until June 2006. However, she hasn't been spotted in public since August 2007 when she attended her father's funeral. So the niece claims that she has not been seen since 2005. And I'm just going to read down here and then we're going to check out that video that she posted on TikTok. At least 2 missing persons reports have been filed regarding Shelley. One filed by actress and former Scientologist Leah Remini. Remini? I don't want to mess her name up. In her video, Jenna noted she escaped the religion when she was 22. My aunt Shelly Miscavige hasn't been seen by anyone outside of Scientology since 2005. Jenna claimed that she argued about her whereabouts. Leah Remini last saw her that year and then reported her missing in 2016. We're in the year of our Lord 2025, so that's 9 years since she's filed this missing report. Since then, Where is Shelly has exploded, bringing international attention to Scientology's abuses. It doesn't take the FBI that long to find someone, so are they trying to find her or not? Um, Continue on. When I wanted to leave, it was Shelly who ordered someone to be posted outside of my door day and night to make sure I couldn't escape. She continued, and she ordered hours of interrogations where I was physically restrained from leaving the room, all while she was living in luxury, flying in private planes with private chefs, with designer clothing, vacationing in the Caribbean, while being waited on hand and foot by teenagers and hobnobbing with Tom Cruise and John Travolta. Now, I do know Tom Cruise is in the Church of Scientology, but I had no idea John Travolta was. Yeah, I'm learning about this stuff. All right. Jenna then addressed Shelley's disappearance, noting she's been reported missing, but alleged hundreds of Scientology workers live at secret bases isolated from the world. My aunt Shelley works at a base near Lake Arrowhead. Jenna claims she's reportedly been seen visiting a chiropractor, going out to the movies, going out to eat Italian food. These are all privileges far beyond what I or other Scientology workers ever had. So Jenna's claim that her aunt is probably being isolated from the world. Um, And Jenna said she really appreciates all the interrogations regarding Shelley's whereabouts, but noted she might be isolated from the world, but so are so many others who weren't right there building a criminal organization and abusing children alongside my Uncle Dave. They won't have a celebrity asking after them, Jenna added, because nobody even knows who they are. So you guys can continue to read on here. It's not a whole lot left to the article, but I did want to get to this TikTok video that Jenna Miscavige did. And I just, have a couple other videos that I want to play that I found very concerning. So let's get to this TikTok video and then we can hop on over to the YouTube video of a gentleman making some wild claims here. So this is only a minute 40 seconds. Let's get to this one.
My uncle is the leader of Scientology, and I escaped when I was 22. The Sea Org is Scientology's most dedicated group. You sign a billion-year contract. You work 15-hour days, 7
What?
days a week. No kids
Really?
and almost no pay. You may have seen Shannon recruiting on Hollywood Boulevard. She's there every single day. But what's it really like behind those doors? I know because I was Shannon. I lived on the 12th floor of that building for 4 years. My ex-husband even proposed to me on the fire escape. But here's what life there actually looked like. No mom there when I got my first period, wearing the same clothes every day of my childhood. Scientology chose who I could date, and I got married at 18 years old, with none of my family present because I wasn't allowed to speak to them. Many of the girls were married off at 15 or 16 to much older men, because in Scientology they don't even believe in the concept of children. I once hung myself out the window when they tried to
Wow.
take away my fiance, after already taking away all my friends and my family. It meant feeling guilty for just liking boys. Music, radio, even what you thought, it was all controlled. No TV, no toys, no one in your corner. Everyone around you was forced to write reports on you. My mail was read, letters from friends were kept from me. No car, no license, no bank account, no internet. Trapped. And if a woman got pregnant, she was pressured to have an abortion or be thrown out
Wow.
in disgrace. Another boy I grew up with hung himself in the stairwell of that building. That's the
Wow.
reality of the Sea Org. So when you see Shannon recruiting on the street, remember nobody will fight you harder for Scientology than somebody who's trapped in there. Keep your daughters away from Scientology.
Wow. That is something else. That is absolutely something else. So I want to skip over to the YouTube video here that I came across. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. It says someone was they self terminated in the hall in the stairway. How is this stuff not being televised? I mean, why isn't this stuff made available to the public? They don't override the FBI. That's my thing. They're not the highest law in the land or anything. It's disturbing to hear. So as you guys can, tell that there's a lot of things that she said that is so reminiscent of a cult. People being isolated, forced to stay, forced to, either marry or forced to remain, you know, isolated. You're not able to have relationships. They don't want you to read any material that will go against, or say compromise you or go against Scientology or what Scientology is pushing. And then you have the leader who has this grandiose, mentality, and most times they're all narcissistic, this cult of personality, and then everyone else is kind of brainwashed and, forced to believe whatever the leader says without question or thought or anything. So this is very, very sad. So this video here is a video that was on Growing Up Scientology's channel. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Shocking new information about Shelly Miscavige, and this video was posted. And I want to make sure I have. This was back in May 2025. So this year in May, just about 4 or 5 months ago. So it's not a very old video. It's going back to May 20th of this year. So I just want to highlight this because I saw a portion of it, but after he made the first statement, and I was like, man, this is something else. So let's get into it.
Hello, my name is Alex Stein. I live at 2101 East 13th, and I recently moved to this great community, Clearwater, from Fort Worth, Texas. I work for an ammo shop there called KIR Ammo. I got fired for accidentally selling ammunition to an illegal immigrant, and so my life got turned upside down. I had a good job, moved out here, didn't have a lot of prospects, started cleaning pools, okay? And there's a lot of opportunity in that business here in Clearwater. It's a great place, and I've really enjoyed it. It's very stress-free lifestyle compared to Texas. You know what I mean? It's very nice in Clearwater. I love this community. And I started working at this house, really nice house. I don't want to say the address near here. And I started cleaning the pool, and I became friends with a woman that was living there in the back house. And they seemed like they were going through something. Like they seemed like they were like going through, an emotional tough time. And I started to kind of be there for them. And they told me their name was Sarah. And so, I knew her as Sarah. And our relationship, it snowballed. We went from a professional relationship to a very carnal relationship. And some things happened, and we ended up making love, and she was married.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed in the beginning, they had an arrow pointing to the lady right here in all black, saying that she is from Scientology, from that church.
And come to find out, she's married to a very powerful man in this community. His name's David Miscavige. And the woman that I was sleeping with is Shelly Miscavige. And she, right now, is scared for her life, hiding. And she has my baby inside of her uterus right now. She's pregnant with my baby.
Oh my
and now
God.
they want to get an abortion. Do you understand that? So I'm here in this community begging you to stop David Miscavige from killing the baby in Shelly Miscavige's womb. And on top of all that, she's postmenopausal. And through the power of Xenu, the galactic overlord, who's helped Scientologists, we were able to have this baby. This baby could be the Jesus of Scientology. It could be the L. Ron.
Oh boy. So this is about to get more into religion overtones, I think. I personally don't believe in anything beyond my Christianity faith is strong. So but the the claim that he has impregnated, Shelly Miscavige, that he knows as Sarah, is wild. And I'm surprised the lady behind him has not really said anything yet. She hasn't jumped up or, spoken out or anything. She's just sitting there. Is it her job to just sit there and listen intently to see what he's going to say? Like, this is some wild accusation. So, despite the fact, I don't think David and Shelly Miscavige have gotten divorced. So, if they're not legally divorced, then that would still mean that they're legally married. And if she's been having a relationship with this guy here, and she's pregnant by him, and this is from May 20th of 2025. I'm wondering, how far along is she? Did she give birth? What are you gonna do with that baby? So many questions.
Hubbard's breed of Scientology. How did a postmenopausal woman get pregnant by my seed? I'll tell you how. L. Ron Hubbard. So we love this community, but I don't love women like Shelly being scared with my baby. So I'm asking you, the council here in Clearwater, please protect my baby. I'm anti-abortion. And Shelly would tell me stories about how when she would make love to David, they could only do it if they were watching Top Gun and they had the volume fully high. And she told me some sick stuff about Scientology, about how they excommunicated people, and I'm sick of it. So Clearwater is a beautiful place, but it is infected with a disease, and that disease is Scientology. So please do not let David Miscavige touch my baby. We are going to name it Elron, but that's neither here nor there. It's going to be Elron Stein, not Elron Miscavige. So David, I know you're watching this. Give me my baby back and let Shelly free. All right? Let Shelly free! Thank you.
Wow. What do you all think? You all believe him? You think he actually got this woman pregnant? Because if, let's just say she is pregnant, and there's a chance it is his baby. With David Miscavige, actually, I mean, being hypocritical as a cult leader is not something that's unfounded, right? Most cult leaders are hypocritical. Most narcissists are hypocritical. So don't think David Miscavige cares about being hypocritical. He'll just try to justify it with some nonsense, and because people are brainwashed in cults, they're just going to believe whatever he says either way. But if there's enough pressure for her to be brought out into the public, and he knows he's gotten this woman pregnant, let's just say DNA test confirms he's the father, then is the FBI, the authorities, going to sit back and let this baby be, allegedly missing now? Could the police officers go in and do a wellness check? Where is she again? I mean, what could he possibly be hiding her? Pregnant. She's got to give birth at some point. I mean, if she can't have a home, like a home water birth or something like that, she's going to have to go to a hospital. What if she needs to have a C-section? How is that going to work? What are you going to say? She died in childbirth? I would hate for that to happen. All because they just let her suffer and not take her to a hospital. Can you imagine the implications of this? This is so egregious. And this is still somehow flourishing in the state of Florida, where is majority Republicans. I mean, are you guys okay with Scientology taking over your state, Florida? To all the Floridians. This is wild. This is wild. There's another video I would like to play next on here.
Let me clarify what Leah Remini is referring to when she...
So this is from, my goodness, Growing Up Scientology again. Make sure you guys check out their YouTube channel. Growing Up Scientology has 251,000 supporters. So this is another video. Mike Render covered up child essay in Scientology. And I know that Jenna Miscavige spoke on that when she interviewed with Tommy G when he went down there to see what was going on. So many have, alleged and stated that they were subjected to abuse as children that, detracted away from Scientology. And if everyone comes out saying the same thing, I mean, you can't say people should not believe them. I mean, no, there's some truth and validity to it. So let's hear this video report on Mike Render.
he makes reference to 5,000 internal documents that have now come to light. It's a little strange to use that language exactly. These are 5,000 of Mike Rinder's personal documents that Leah Remini found out a year ago he has been had in his possession since he left Scientology in 2007. In fact, it was Leah finding out that Mike had never told her about these 5,000 documents that he had that led to them having somewhat of a falling out over the year prior to Mike Rinder's death. It's actually why Leah Remini never visited Mike Rinder during the year that he had been diagnosed with cancer until he had a few weeks to live, and then she visited him because of how furious she was when she discovered that Mike Rinder had these internal documents this entire time and had never told her about it, even when they were making a TV show about Scientology for 3 years. And in fact, when Mike finally, what do I want to say, shared the documents, he only shared them with one person, Mark Headley. And then Mark Headley pretended that the documents never came from Mike Rinder. And the problem, the inconvenient truth of these documents is that Mike Rinder's own internal documents that he took with him when he left Scientology show definitively that Mike Rinder was involved and complicit in the cover-up of child sex abuse of Scientologists. Wow. And whereas we might assume that all Scientology Sea Org members who worked in the Office of Special Affairs were complicit in such activity, prior to Mike Rinder's death, he did an interview where he was asked that question point blank, and stated definitively that he never participated in or had any knowledge whatsoever of any cover-up of child sex abuse in Scientology. And then you look at his documents, and it shows that that was an absolute lie.
Right.
So this is one of the reasons. And then unfortunately, Leah Remini's wagon is forever hitched to Mike Rinder. And prior to Mike Rinder's death, Leah basically declared war on any ex-Scientologist who dared criticize Mike Rinder for this inconvenient truth, and also for the inconvenient truth that in Mike Rinder's time on the board of Child USA, he claimed involvement with and certainly had knowledge of a multi-year look-back window in the state of California, where any victims of child sex abuse could file a lawsuit. In this case, ex-Scientologists. Any ex-Scientologist who had ever been a victim of child sex abuse under the care of Scientology in the state of California could file a lawsuit without any statute of limitations applying. And while Mike Rinder served on the board of Child USA, that look-back window opened and closed without Mike Rinder telling any of the rest of us in the ex-Scientology community, including those of us who were closest to him at the time, myself, Leah Remini, Mark Headley, Claire, were told that it existed. None of us were asked to help find people to file lawsuits against Scientology. And in fact, the only ex-Scientologist who filed a lawsuit against Scientology under this look-back window is the one who is currently suing David Miscavige, Gavin Potter, the Church of Scientology International, in the lawsuit known as Jane Doe versus Gavin Potter, David Miscavige et al. That lawsuit was filed without help from and without even the knowledge of Mike Rinder. So these are two very inconvenient truths, and is the reason why Leah Remini refers to these 5,000 documents as simply 5,000 internal documents that have now come to light, instead of properly attributing the documents to their rightful owner, which is Mike Rinder.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos,
so this video is she's adorable. Going over the allegations with Mike Rinder. The many of the survivors, men and women, claims that they were subjected to abuse. Once again, I find it peculiar that, the FBI, DA, Department of Justice have not really looked into this and remind Scientology that they're not the highest law in the land. They're not above reproach. If there are allegations of abuse, people are filing lawsuits, There's no reason why they should exist in the United States and feel like they can't be bound by our laws. Or else they should probably pull a Jim Jones and go to another country. But here in the US, we have laws in place, and no one's above them. David Miscavige is not above the law or the rule of law. So the FBI, the DOJ, needs to grow a spine and get into this to see what's really going on. And people who want to leave be given the opportunity to leave. And I'm sure many of them will need counseling and help. And no one should be forced to stay in a cult. If you feel that you're doing the right thing, you shouldn't have to force people to stay in it anyway. And it shouldn't even be, it comes off and it just screams cult. It just screams cult. So this next video here, I felt was a very important video. This is going to be the last one we touch on. This is a police body cam inside of the Scientology compound. This is dated on April 25th of 2025. So the police came into Clearwater, Florida, the Scientology base there. And thankfully somebody got this, footage and they posted it up. Now it's only a minute, 59 seconds, almost 2 minutes. I mean, I'm just curious to know why only 2 minutes of body camera footage was posted up. But see, this is the thing. Who's running Clearwater, Florida here? Is it Scientology or is it the governor and the law enforcement? Are the police afraid to go into the headquarters or the base of Scientology? Is the governor scared of Scientology? Do they pay taxes? Because I don't think they do. So if they don't pay taxes, they don't really even add to the revenue in the state. So what is the governor afraid of? Like, this is unbelievable. But I wanted to get to this because, like I said, body camera footage on the inside of the base is something else. So let's go. I'm not even getting sound, and I'm not muted. The video is not muted. Yeah, there's sound here. Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. Scientology wanted trespass warnings issued to protesters. You gotta see on the inside though. So who knows what was said before he cut on the sound?
First name Jose.
Jose.
Last name
Lemos.
Jose Lemos has been guarding the door of the Fort Harrison Hotel for over 20 years.
Date of birth
26 September.
Give a middle initial.
No.
All right, I'm going to fill it out, and I'll fill it out. Okay, I'll have you sign it, okay?
Want to go back out there with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
To the police officer, it doesn't matter if you mute the actual birth, if we can still read it on your notepad. Don't write in front of your camera. I still saw the year.
All right, he's trespass. Just want to sign. Yeah, if he's ever on the property and even we're not here, we don't witness it, you guys can always forward the charges if you guys choose to do so. Yeah, then it would be kind of like up to the state and you guys would be the victim. So whatever process that would be. So do you have any questions at all?
No.
To Aaron, since he came up to the door and tapping on the door there. So
Yeah. Can we have
do you want a copy?
a copy or something?
I'll print out a second one.
I don't know if they're blocking right now. We're going to have traffic after the event.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, it is the sidewalk.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, you don't control the sidewalk.
How's it going to the sex trafficking call?
So
Previously on the-
that's one thing they couldn't do was like control people out on the sidewalk, which is absolutely absurd. So I think the police seem to be scared to want to really address what's really going on. They're having some protesters trespass. You guys just heard them yell out, "Oh man, it's sex trafficking and stuff going on there." I mean, it's not the first time these allegations have came forth. Um, Even from ex Scientology, members, they've come out saying the same thing. They're having children brought in and out and using them, to do hardcore labor sort of thing, having children raise other babies. Um, you 15, 16 years old taking care of, newborns. Like that's what are you teaching them other than how to be a teen parent? How does that align with any principle of a child having a childhood? So, it's just deplorable. And like David E. Taylor, at some point, David Miscavige, ironically, they have the same first name. David Miscavige is going to go down at some point. Everyone is going to have their due justice that falls upon their head. David E. Taylor, this fake apostle who was indicted by the FBI, him and another co-pastor of some sort. Yeah, he had been running his religious cult where he was sex trafficking, um holding people hostage and forcing labor, almost like a labor slave labor trade, just to raise money. And that had gone on for 10 years plus. So if they went and got that fake apostle David E. Taylor, you know David Miscavige only has, it's only so much time, because at some point, law enforcement, the FBI, the DOJ, even, and the governor of Florida are going to have to get real and stop acting as if they're scared of them. You give power to things that you allow to occur, but take the power back and free those people. So that's all I have for this. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Check out the description for the Dr. Squatch products that we are partnered with here in the Lady Luck Club. Purchase a product through the products that are tagged, and I do receive a commission on that, and it goes back to the channel. Thank you all so much for the support. If you guys want more reporting on Scientology, this video needs to get a minimum of 5,000 views. That means it needs to be shared, it needs to be liked, and it needs to be viewed, because this is some crazy stuff going on here. And especially with the young man claiming to be the father of the unborn child. This is going back to May now. Baby could have been born by now, I'm not sure. But Shelly Miscavige, who's married to David Miscavige. So I'm willing to dive into that a little bit more to find out what's going on with the baby. If the baby is born, the baby would have had to go to a doctor's appointment somewhere. Someone had to pull some blood, and do some blood tests. There's got to be a way to track down this baby at least, to see what's going on. So hit the like button, share the video, and hopefully I can, get in contact with Jenna Miscavige and do an interview with her. That would be awesome. And we can get some, information in real time from someone, who was able to get out of this, cult of Scientology. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.